Saint Augustine commentary on Psalm 47 following. For God is the King above the earth. Verse 7. What? And before was he not God above the earth? Is he not God of both heaven and earth, since by him surely were all things made? Who can say that he is not his God? But not all men acknowledged him their God. And where he was acknowledged, there only so to say he was God. In Judah God is known. Not yet was it said to the sons of Korah, "O clap your hands, all you nations, for that God known in Judah is king above the earth." Now by all he is acknowledged, for that is fulfilled which Isaiah says, "He is your God who has delivered you, the God of the whole earth shall he be called." Isaiah 54:5. Sing ye praises with understanding. He teaches us and warns us to sing praises with understanding, not to seek the sound of the ear, but the light of the heart. The Gentiles, whence ye were called that you might be Christians, adored gods made with hands, and sang praises to them, but not with understanding. If they had sung with understanding, they had not adored stones. When a man sensible sang to a stone insensible, did he sing with understanding? But now, brethren, we see not with our eyes whom we adore, and yet correctly we adore. Much more is God commended to us, that with our eyes we see him not. If with our eyes we saw him, haply we might despise. For even Christ seen, the Jews despised, unseen, the Gentiles adored. God shall reign over all the nations. Verse 8. Who reigned over all one nation shall reign, says he, over all nations. When this was said, God reigned over one nation. It was a prophecy, the thing was not yet shown. Thanks be to God, we now see fulfilled what before was prophesied. A written promise God sent unto us before the time fulfilled he has repaid us. God shall reign over all nations is a promise. God sits upon his holy seat. What then was promised to come, now being fulfilled, is acknowledged and held. God sits upon his holy seat. What is his holy seat? Haply says one, the heavens, and he understands well. For Christ has gone up, Acts 1:2, as we know, with the body wherein he was crucified, and sits at the right hand of the Father. Thence we expect him to come to judge the quick and the dead. 2 Timothy 4:1. God sits upon his holy seat. The heavens are his holy seat. Will you also be his seat? Think not that you can not be. Prepare for him a place in your heart. He comes and willingly sits. The same Christ is surely the power of God and the wisdom of God. 1 Corinthians 1:24. And what says the scripture of wisdom herself? The soul of the righteous is the seat of wisdom. Wisdom 7:27. If then the soul of the righteous is the seat of wisdom, be your soul righteous, and you shall be a royal seat of wisdom. And truly, brethren, all men who live well, who act well, converse in godly charity, does not God sit in them and himself command? Your soul obeys God sitting in it, and itself commands the members. For your soul commands your members, that so may move the foot, the hand, the eye, the ear, and itself commands the members as its servants. But yet itself serves its Lord sitting within. It can't well rule its inferior, unless its superior it have not disdained to serve. The princes of the peoples are gathered together unto the God of Abraham. Verse 9. The God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. Exodus 3:6. True it is, God said this, and thereupon the Jews prided themselves and said, We are Abraham's children. John 8:33. Priding themselves in their father's name, carrying his flesh, not holding his faith, by seed cleaving to him, in manners degenerating. But the Lord, what said he to them, so priding themselves? If you are Abraham's children, do the works of Abraham. John 8:39. Again, the princes of the peoples, the princes of the nations, not the princes of one people, but the princes of all people have gathered together unto the God of Abraham. Of these princes was that centurion too, of whom but now, when the gospel was read, ye heard. For he was a centurion, having honor and power among men. He was a prince among the princes of the people. Christ coming to him, he sent his friends to meet him. Nay, unto Christ truly passing over to him, he sent his friends and asked that he would heal his servant, who was dangerously sick. And when the Lord would come, he sent to him this message, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but say in a word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers. Luke 7:6-7. See how he kept his rank. First he mentioned that he was under another, and afterwards that another was under him. I am under authority, and I am in authority. Both under some I am, and over some I am. As thou, he said, if I, being set under authority, command those who are under me, thou who art set under no man's authority, canst not thou command your creature, since all things were made by you, and without you was nothing made? Say, then, said he, in a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof. Admiring at his faith, Jesus reprobates the Jews' misbelief. For sound to themselves they seemed, whereas they were dangerously sick, when their physician not knowing they slew. Therefore when he reprobated and repudiated their pride, what said he? I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, not belonging to the kindred of Israel. Many shall come to whom he said, O clap your hands, you all nations, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. Abraham begat them not of his own flesh, yet shall they come and sit down with him in the kingdom of heaven and be his sons. Whereby his sons, not as born of his flesh, but by following his faith. But the children of the kingdom, that is, the Jews, shall be cast into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Matthew 8:12. They shall be condemned to outer darkness who are born of the flesh of Abraham, and they shall sit down with him in the kingdom of heaven, who have imitated Abraham's faith. And what they who belong to the God of Abraham? For the mighty gods of the earth are greatly lifted up. They who were gods, the people of God, the vineyard of God, whereof it is said, Judge between me and my vineyard, Isaiah 5:3, shall go into outer darkness, shall not sit down with Abraham, and Isaac and Jacob are not gathered unto the God of Abraham. Wherefore, for the mighty gods of the earth, they who were mighty gods of the earth presuming upon earth. What earth? Themselves. For every man is earth. For to man was it said, Dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. Genesis 3:19. But man ought to presume upon God, and thus to hope for help not from himself. For the earth weighs not upon itself, nor shines for itself, but as the earth from heaven expects rain and light, so man from God ought to expect mercy and truth. They then, the mighty gods of the earth, were greatly lifted up, that is, greatly prided themselves. They thought no physician necessary for themselves, and therefore remained in their sickness, and by their sickness were brought down even to death. The natural branches were broken off, that the humble wild olive tree might be grafted in. Romans 11:17. Hold we fast then, brethren, humility, charity, godliness, since we are called, on their proving reprobate, even by their example, let us fear to pride ourselves.